The summit at Europa Station. The chamber fell silent when Admiral Marcus Vale stepped to the podium. Around the curved table sat representatives from 47 known civilizations. The Vreth with their translucent skulls, the towering Dominari who had ruled 3-star systems before Earth's dinosaurs vanished, the ancient Silurians who communicated through harmonic vibration. They had gathered here, floating above Europa's frozen ocean, because humanity had finally requested a seat in the Galactic Consortium. It had taken humans long enough. Every species remembered the moment they discovered the small blue world, primitive, loud, perpetually at war with itself. The Consortium had quietly agreed to leave them alone until they grew up. Ambassador Drevik of the Dominari leaned toward his translator. "They want membership now?" His mandibles clicked with amusement. "They'd had spaceflight for barely 2 centuries. Silurian Elder Mavis hummed a note of agreement. The youngest civilization ever to request membership. Curious, perhaps, but harmless. Admiral Vale cleared his throat. "We appreciate the Consortium's patience with our application. Before we submit formally, we feel honesty demands a disclosure." A confession nobody expected. Drevik's compound eyes narrowed. Disclosures before membership were routine: planetary resources, population counts, military capability. A formality for a species that barely had orbital stations. 14 months ago, Vale said, you granted humanity provisional observer status and asked us to declare all assets. Correct, said Drevik. A standard procedure. We omitted something. Vale paused, his weathered face completely calm. Several things, actually. The room shifted. The Vreth ambassador pressed 4 fingers together, a gesture of alarm. Mavis let out a discordant hum. Vale pressed a control on the podium. The chamber's central holographic display flickered to life. What appeared first looked like asteroids, thousands of them, drifting in loose formation beyond Neptune's orbit. Unremarkable. Space was full of rocks. Then the image zoomed in. They weren't asteroids. They were ships. Dark, angular, massive. Each one between 3 and 12 kilometers long. Hull plating the color of deep space, running no lights, emitting no signals. Hundreds of them. Then the camera pulled back further, and there were thousands more. What? Drevik said slowly. Is that? The 7th Armada, Vale replied. One of 9. The weight of old iron. The silence that followed lasted 11 seconds. An eternity in diplomatic time. Mavis was the first to recover. The elder's harmonic question translated roughly as, how old? Vale brought up a second display. Schematics, carbon dating analysis, isotopic surveys. The oldest vessels in the 4th Armada predate written human civilization. We didn't build them. He let that land. We found them. Buried in the lunar mantle, sealed inside Martian canyons, anchored to the ocean floor off the Pacific Ridge. Whoever placed them there wanted them hidden until we were ready. Drevik stood, all 4 arms rigid. You've been sitting on this? We've been studying this. Vale corrected. For 6,000 years. Every engineer, physicist, and mathematician humanity has ever produced quietly fed their best work into understanding these vessels. We reverse-engineered the propulsion systems in the 1940s. Weapons in the 1970s. Navigation in 2031. Ambassador Trela of the small, peaceful Ovari spoke for the first time. Her voice was barely a whisper. How many ships? Vale looked down at his notes, though everyone suspected he had the number memorized. 212,000 warships. Fully operational. What humanity actually wanted. Drevik's chair scraped back. 3 other delegates rose. The Vreth ambassador's skull had gone from translucent to a deep, frightened crimson. We are not here to threaten anyone, Bale said sharply. The firmness in his voice stopped the room. Please sit down. Slowly they did. We disclose this because membership requires honesty. And because we need help. He shut off the holographic display. In the sudden dimness, he looked tired. Not like a man wielding the most terrifying fleet in known space, but like someone who had carried a secret so long it had bent his spine. We don't know who built these ships. We don't know why. We don't know what they were preparing to fight. He looked around the table at 47 civilizations, some of whom had existed for millions of years. But something put those weapons there for a reason. We think you might know what it was. Another silence, different from the first. Not fear. Something closer to recognition. Mhavis began to hum. A long, slow harmonic that the translator took a moment to render. We were wondering, it said, when you would finally ask.